About exactly that, we have with us Nilesh Shah from Kotak AMC joining in. Nilesh, hi, morning. There are a lot of numbers and a lot of expectation throwing around. But Nilesh, you've been famous for coming up with the most creative and unique ideas for the finance minister. I'll recall about a few years back, you were saying, why don't we let out Taj Mahal for weddings? Anything unique, anything creative that you have as a suggestion for the finance minister today?
Well, it's not creative, it's often repeated. But I think it is time to raise resources without raising taxes. And a gold amnesty scheme or a gold disclosure scheme could be a big move. There is more than 25,000 tons of gold held by Indians, but most of it is in Tijori in black economy. If we can bring a disclosure scheme whereby gold can move from Tijori to white economy, government gets taxes and businessmen gets equity capital in their balance sheet. The savings of $2 trillion, which remains frozen in the Tijoris, can be part of the formal economy, can be part of the white economy. This can change India's growth orbit.
Indeed. From a market messaging point of view as well, Nilesh, what is it that you're hoping to hear? I was just chatting with Madhusudan Kela as well, and he said that, there is an expectation that the super rich could be taxed. Purely in terms of a messaging, what is it that the markets would like and dislike?
So as Madhubai mentioned, since this year income growth will be lower, probably there will be temptation to raise taxes on the wealth side. However, my feeling is that the budget should focus on creating growth foundation beyond FY22. Because of FY21's negative and lower base, FY22 will be double-digit growth. But we need to extend it beyond FY23. And for that, we have to raise resources without raising taxes. We have to spend money to stimulate that sector of economy which is impacted by COVID-19 so that this recovery truly becomes broad-based and V-shaped. And we have to maintain path of fiscal prudence so that we can become oasis in the desert of the world, where every other peer group country is splurging on fiscal deficit, and we will maintain path of fiscal prudence. So our focus should be to create growth, growth, and growth.
Nilesh, what are some of the ways in which they can do that? I mean, instead of any kind of tax, if anything, there is hope that there will be some relief or concession so that one can actually see some uptick in spending, driving consumption, and really contributing to growth in that manner. Possibly. Is that an option? Do you feel that there are ways in which the government can possibly look at doing this, considering that they're otherwise quite stretched on the fisc?
There are multiple ways to raise resources. For example, in the world full of liquidity and low interest rates, India can pursue aggressive monetization of assets. There are land parcels available within Defense Department, Railway Department. There are fixed assets available in the form of roads, ports, transmission towers. There are more than 9,000 real estate available under custodian of enemy property. Both India and Pakistan came out with custodian of enemy property way back in the 60s. They divested their real estates and other assets in 1971. We are full 5 decades behind them. I think it is time to monetize those assets. India has been pursuing path of market divestment where on a regular basis we have been selling shares in PSU companies to meet annual target. This regular supply has resulted into PSU stocks trading below book value. The market trades at 3 times price to book. PSU portfolio trades at 66% discount to that. History teaches us that strategic divestment and public-private partnership results into far better realization and value creation for PSUs. Hindustan Zinc was divested for about 769 crore in 2003. Today, dividend income on Hindustan Zinc for the residual stake is more than 769 crore. So pursue the path of strategic divestment and public-private partnership to create value in PSUs so that by divesting a little, you can raise lots of resources. Ethical hacking is a way of life for giant software companies where they invite experts to plug loopholes in their programs. Why not invite best and brightest of India to plug loopholes in taxation side? For example, in capital market, there is a cottage industry to convert interest income taxable at 43% to long-term capital gain at 10% by issue of zero coupon listed debentures. Invite best and brightest of India to plug the tax loopholes in our policies, and I'm sure our tax compliance will improve. A gold amnesty scheme I talked about. Even bringing underground activities which fund criminals to mainline economy, like betting, legalize betting and gambling, make them from criminal activity to responsible industries. They will create growth, they will pay taxes, and they will behave responsibly rather than like criminals. So there are multiple ways to raise resources and stimulate the economy without compromising on fiscal prudence.